Everybody, thanks for watching. Now, I wanted to touch on a couple things a lot of people have been concerned with recently, namely net neutrality. I've been getting a lot of questions about that, and it's something that a lot of people are starting to come into the understanding about how the internet actually works, especially since 2014, Obama administration, when he basically passed this whole law to basically, have net neutrality, to basically make it so that the internet service providers cannot, make one site faster than the other based upon its content. So just because, Netflix is making a lot of money, they can't slow down Netflix speed. And, one of the things that they have to regulate is what you buy as far as internet speed. And they figured that would be enough. If you want faster internet, pay for it. So at least faster internet will be available to consumers, and we won't have to really worry about certain sites being slower than the other. If a site is slower, or your download or upload speed is fast or slow based upon the service that you pay for. Now, if they repeal net neutrality, what they can do, if they get rid of the whole thing, is they can make it so no matter what you're paying, certain sites will be slower or faster than others. So this is a big deal if you do a lot of streaming, and this is a big deal if a corporation, a company like Comcast or what have you, owned by Universal, or a part of Universal, and all these other corporations that Intel, Disney, and what have you, what they can do is they can really slow down sites of their competitors if they want to. So net neutrality is important, and it's important for people like me and others who speak out and have a lot of conscious websites. We don't want our websites being slowed down because of the content that we put out. Now, all that being said, what I want to tell you is, it's all bullshit anyway. And it always seems to lead that way when we get into these type of things. You start to realize that it's all smoke and mirrors, because these people can already really inflict control on the sites. I have proven that myself. This is what I talked about before. I told you guys that they can go in and regulate who sees what. So, it still would be, to me, the same as slowing down your speed if they can control who sees what. So basically, a lot of these platforms like YouTube and Facebook can really control who sees content, who sees what you post. This is why they offer advertising. So you can advertise to the people, to basically everybody on Facebook, or as many people as you pay for. This is why they have that, because they can control who sees what. As I said before, this is why MySpace basically completely switched up and changed everything, because before, if you remember, on MySpace, you had people with 100,000 friends, millions of friends, and you had so many people that can see your content and what you put out, and everybody was able to see, what you posted for a while. That ceased because they understood the advertising capability a person would have with that many friends and followers. So that was stopped when Facebook came along, remember, and still to this day, you can only have but so many friends. I think the limit is 5,000. So if you want to reach more than 5,000 people or reach all 5,000 of your friends, you have to pay for it. It costs money. And you're not really guaranteed that everybody's going to see what you paid for. So again, when we talk about, regulating the internet and what have you, these people still, have a control over the situation. So what we got to understand if more, platforms come up, social platforms that we involve ourselves in, these platforms are going to have control. So it doesn't even matter if they slow down your internet speed. What matters is if people can see what you want them to see. What good is internet speed if nobody can see your content in the first place? So once you sign up for a lot of these platforms, you give them control over your content. So another reason why we really need net neutrality is so when we do go ahead and get our own websites and have our own platforms, we can't have them slowed down, by our internet service provider, and slow down our speeds for less than what we pay for. This is important. This is huge. So, it's one of the things that they're going to use to attack the net. The second one, if you follow me on Facebook, I posted and I talked about the whole voice imitator that they have. They have a program now where you can basically make anybody say what you want them to say, and it'll sound like them. You know, it'll look like it's really them saying what you put into the program to say. This is dangerous. This is one of the things they're going to use for, you know, security reasons to try to regulate the internet. Talked about this before, and I told you guys, they coming for the internet. They're no longer going to let us. They're not going to allow us to do this for a long time. I mean, I don't think it's going to be no time soon, and there is a lot of, you know, people protesting against, you know, net neutrality, repealing it, and they're trying to do this overseas right now in Britain and what have you. And a lot of people are concerned about it. It's a huge thing because it's really going to open up the internet for corporations and companies. You're going to have a lot of corporations you never heard of now becoming internet service providers. The only good thing about that will be is that, you know, we'll have more internet service providers and they'll have to compete. Prices should go down. The problem, again, of course, is they can slow down speeds on certain pages, on certain sites. This is not good. So, you know, if they want to repeal it, they would have to put something in a clause to where, yeah, we can get more people selling, providing internet service, but they won't be able to slow down anybody's site for whatever reason. So these are all things we got to look at as far as net neutrality. But I still want you guys to understand that there's so many things in place that they're going to use to try to hinder the internet. And that's a big security risk threat to the internet, is this whole program to basically change people's voices and get them to do and say what have you. Now, the whole net neutrality thing started when so many people was posting to repeal it. Now, this is what they say. You know, it's bullshit to me when you read it, but they're going off a bunch of emails and blogs from, you know, prominent people who really, you know, blog about this type stuff and them complaining about it. So they want to say, based upon these complaints, that they want to basically repeal the thing. The problem is a lot of these people who supposed to have sent out these emails stepped forward and said, hey, we didn't send these emails. You know, it's bullshit. So the whole fuss, you know, is fake. Somebody is sending emails and blogging and posting stuff that's not from these actual people. One of the reasons we know is because one of the guy's mother supposed to had posted something, but she was dead, you know, at the time it was posted. So anytime stuff like this is in the media and it's on the news, it's red flags. You got to pay attention to what they're talking about. Now, what you can do to personally try to help out with the situation is continue to share all the videos against, you know, the repeal of, you know, net neutrality. You know, continue to voice your approval for it, you know, blog about it, share those videos and those websites and people that's talking against the repeal of it, and just really put out as much content as you can and keep it circulating, because this stuff helps. Now, again, they're going to continue to keep attacking it, and we're going to continue to see them try to really take away the freedom of the internet. And it's something we can't allow the corporations to really get in there and control speeds, control, you know, websites. And they will love to do that, because then what's going to basically happen is you have your own website, which is basically your own platform. You know, people go to your site, that's yours. The only thing you're regulated by is the speed, but everybody has different speeds. As long as it stays that way, you're fine. But as soon as you have to really, you know, put your whole entire site up under a corporation, that becomes a problem. Now, a lot of us go through hosting sites like GoDaddy or what have you, and we got to rely on them. But, you know, GoDaddy, they give you everything. You know, you have full control over your site, and they actually make it better for you in many different ways. If that is taken away from us because we have to deal with a corporation or a company and what they want, and, you know, certain content that they won't allow, you know, that's it. That's game. So it's really important that we keep net neutrality, and we are able to be free on the internet. So now, next thing we got to get into is Bitcoin. You know, Bitcoin, everybody's going crazy over it right now. I was lucky enough to jump in and invest in Bitcoin in the beginning. So yeah, I'm sitting pretty right now. But you got to realize it's not going to last. You know, anytime you got JP Morgan, Chase, and a lot of these Warren Buffett or what have you, a lot of these billionaires coming out talking against something, and when something jumps, you know, so high, so fast, it's a problem. I mean, just a year ago, Bitcoin was trading at $780 per share. It was over 17,000, for one share. So yeah, that's crazy if you actually was lucky enough to get into Bitcoin early and you actually was able to stack some money. As I said before, I got my last couple DVDs. I talked about how, I'm now able to go ahead with my website because I've raised enough money to go ahead. I put up a GoFundMe for over 350,000. I got about 41 people who donated a total of about $1,600, so $1,600 out of 350 grand, and that's fine. It's cool, but I found a way, and one of the ways to help was Bitcoin stock, and I was able to get the 350,000 that I need to go forward with my site, which is one of the reasons why I really am concerned about net neutrality, because it will affect a whole platform that I'm trying to put out, and all the research and work and years of hard work that me and my team has done to put this thing out, to get it to the point we got it to now. So now I have the money to go further. It would suck if they went ahead and controlled the whole thing. But Bitcoin helped out with that. That's cool and all. But a little bit that I have left, the stocks that I do have, as far as cryptocurrency, I'm definitely going to be dropping soon. And if you do have any, I'm just telling you, take my advice. Pay attention to the media. I'm not going to tell you when. I don't want anybody blaming me for the money that they lost. Pay attention to the media. Pay attention to what's going on. Don't hold on to those stocks for too long. Take your winnings and run. Be happy. Don't be greedy. You're going to end up losing everything because it's going to fall. It's not, it's going to fall. It's going to fall. Anything that rivals the dollar or is heading towards that area is not going to last too long. You see what they did. If they wanted to go ahead and start a war to keep, Saddam and to keep Gaddafi from messing with the dollar, then of course, this whole cryptocurrency won't last for too long. And if it does, it's going to be because they somehow got their hands in control of the whole thing and are taking it in a different direction, in which case, yeah, it might go up, it might go down, what have you. But with all of the controversy going on with Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies right now, if you can't get in low, don't mess with it. Don't put too much of your money into it. Get in low to where if you're going to lose, you won't lose too much. You won't lose your shirt or your house on the whole thing. Try to make what you can now over the next few months. Try to before the first quarter at least, and I would dump it after the first quarter, maybe second quarter, and be done. So it's just something to really be really diligent about. And you have a lot of new up and coming cryptocurrencies that's coming into play that is trading good with a lot of upside that look like they might be the next Bitcoin. But again, don't take the bait. Do your research. Be careful. And pay attention to these major corporations and what they're saying.